So I welcome everybody to the Become an Author in 2026 webinar. And I was saying earlier, I said that I think writing is something that everybody should embark on because writing is beyond every benefit of writing. Writing is a calling, and it is a calling that everybody should get on with. So um I'm happy that we decided to take this decision in 2026, and I hope that this webinar, at the end of this webinar, you are going to just take that action and start that book, whatever ideas that you've been working on. I hope that this 2026 you're able to just like put it out. In this webinar, we'll be learning a couple of things, and while I got the responses, we looked through the responses, and I saw that a couple of us are in between. Some persons are struggling with, okay, so I have an idea, how do I put it together? Some of us have started writing, and there's just a struggle of, okay, I want to refine my process. Some are struggling with inconsistency, and so that is how I have put this whole thing together, so that at the end of the day, everyone learns something that just helps them on their writing journey. And what are the things that we are going to learn? The first one we are learning is why authoring matters. Then the right mindset, because a number of people said, oh, I'm dealing with fear, I'm not able to publish, I'm not able to start writing. So yeah, having the right mindset. Then how to structure idea into a book. If you have an idea, how do you put it together into a book? We're also going to look at that. Then we are going to look at how to write with your audience in mind. How do you write? Because it doesn't just end that, okay, I put out a book. If your book doesn't appeal to the right people, you haven't completed your work. So how do you write with your audience in mind? How do you deal with writing challenges? And this one, I like this because if a number of us were like, yeah, I want to make money from my book, then how do you make money from your book? Then we'll also be doing a practical exercise at the end of we'll be doing a practical exercise. So let's get right into it. Yes, you should meet me. My name is Goodness Oga. I'm a project manager and I'm also a lecturer. In the midst of all of this, I have extensive experience in writing. I started writing a while ago. I do ghostwriting, and ghostwriting basically means, so someone has an idea, you have an idea, say you don't have the time, or you feel like, oh, I don't have the skill to put my idea into a book. I take it up for you and we get to publish the book. So we work together, but I do the writing and then just bounce ideas off you and to then get your book published. I also edit books. I work with different publishing firms and then we do editing. I've worked with multiple publishing companies and also helped authors publish their books around law, personal development, and non-fiction projects. So that is why it matters to me, because I've been in that space that has to do with a lot of writing and people getting things published. Let's get straight into the business of it. So the first thing we are looking at today is, why should you write a book? Why? What does it? Because most times people just think, oh, is it not just the glamour of become an author and all? But it's beyond all of that. First thing that I'm talking about today is the lasting impact that a book gives. There is an author, Miles Monroe. If you are big on personal development, you know him. He died a couple of years ago, but up till today, each time I sit and read his books, I just even better than I was when before I read it. And that's what writing a book allows you to do. It gives impacts that you never thought of. You've never thought about it. It's going to books just makes you create impacts like that. I remember one time when I published my first book, right? So after a while, I started a newsletter and a newsletter series from the first book and all of that. And I remember one day a friend calls me and she's like, oh, that someone, she was having a conversation with a friend. That's a friend of hers that I don't know. And the friend was like, oh, that she read this amazing book and then she really loved the book. And she was just talking about the book to her. She didn't know she knew me, right? And then she's like, oh, okay, this my friend now is like, oh, what's the title of the book and all? And it happens that it was my book she was talking about. And this is somebody that I've never met. I know that from the newsletter series, people reach out and say, oh, thank you so much, this and that. But I didn't know that there was someone somewhere, because that was like a year or so after I had written the book. And someone was reaching out to say, oh, your book made this impact on, was talking to someone else, not even to me, that this was the impact my book had made on her. So it leaves lasting impact, whether you're writing self-development or you're writing about your career path or you're writing about making money, whatever it is you're writing about, just know that it leaves impact even after you are long gone. Then you can make income from the impacts that your books give you. You make money from selling your book, that's number one. If you put your book on platforms like Seller, even when you don't put all your books on Seller, if you have an audience and then your audience buys from you, you are making income from the book. Also, it gives you leverage. Having a book also gives you leverage because you can get invited to podcasts, you can get invited to speak to people and different places, and from that you get to make money. So that's another reason why you should write. One more reason is also the credibility and authority that it gives you. This is looking at people that when you are trying to scale in your career, you are working in a particular field and people have always known you at a particular level. Once you write a book and publish a book, automatically gives you that, it shifts you to an authority, because writing a book is work. There's a lot of research that goes into it. There's a lot of experience that you are writing from the place of experience, you're writing from the place of research. So it shifts you in your field, whatever field it is. And when I'm saying field, I'm not talking about just 9 to 5 careers. Even as an entrepreneur, gives you that credibility and authority when you publish a book. Another thing is that it gives you a wider reach. Just like I shared my story, I was just on my own. I'd written a book that I wanted to bless teenagers, and I'm sure that that person was not a teenager. And then, like that, I did not know, even though that she was talking to a friend that knew me, that then told me. I never knew that my book had reached that person. So yeah, it gives you a wider reach. It gives you, oh yes, okay, Chris-Awoke is saying publishing my Facebook changed everything for me. So you see, it's important. Don't just stay at the level of, okay, I'm putting out content on social media. Make sure you put that book together and put it out there. So it also gives clear guidance. It helps you put your ideas together and then you are able to put it out in the world. You don't have to start reaching people one by one and saying, oh, this is it. You can just tell people, oh, get this book and read, and then gives them guidance on what is happening. Now, the next thing we are going to deal with, we've looked at the importance of publishing a book, but most times people struggle with writing. And if one of your reasons for not writing, for not completing your book up till now is fear, or you've just been looking at, oh, I don't have all the experience, this is a time where you should just zoom in, because we want to deal with the mindset that affects people when writing. One of the things that holds people back is that they feel like they don't know it all. Oh, if I'm supposed to write, what do I write? I'm not even old enough. I'm just new in this career path. I'm just this, and they are just different excuses. One of them is, I don't have enough experience. And one thing that you should have at the back of your mind is that you cannot have all the experience available in the world, right? So it's better that you share what you know and you grow as you write. So don't look at it. If you are thinking, okay, I want to write something about personal development, but I don't have the experience yet, or I'm changing career paths, or I'm moving into a new phase in life and I want to talk about it. And these are important lessons that you really want to share, but you are feeling you don't have the experience. I think the mindset you should have instead is, I don't have all the experience, but I'm going to share what I know. And as I grow, I write. And that is why you see books that have revised editions. That's why you see books that have first edition, second editions. It's because there are things that the author saw that, okay, writing. I was talking with the writer today, and she said to me that she published a book last year and put it up. And last year, she then saw that, say, she published a book early in the year, and mid-year, she saw that, oh, this wasn't her best work. And guess what she's going to do now? She's just going to get her thoughts together and then publish a better version. So you don't wait till you gather all the experience as you think you would have, because as you grow, you keep getting experience. Then another thing is, I need to wait for the perfect time to start. There is no perfect time to start, because every time you think, oh, let me start next year will come with its responsibilities. Then you think, oh, I'm going to start when I graduate, from, say, when I graduate from uni, or when I'm done with youth service, or when I stop working here. There is no perfect time. Just start now. And when I say start now, I mean literally start now. As soon as we get off this webinar, we'll do a bit of practical exercise. And then as soon as we get off this webinar, put your plans together and start writing. You know why it is important to start writing now? Because any idea that you don't put together now, you see that it's just going to dissipate. The weight with which you carried it before. And I'm sure that's happened to anybody here. When you're thinking, oh, I'm going to write a book on this, I'm going to write a book on marketing. And you have the energy, you're already thinking, oh, this is how I'm going to do it. By the time you push that idea for like 2 weeks, in fact, 2 weeks, you really tried. By the time you push the idea for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, you see that the energy that you had before somehow just begins to reduce. And by the time that month is ending, or maybe the year, you're just like, well, is publishing really important? And so the point I'm making is that the ideas, once you don't put them together at that time and bring it out, you'd see that your energy level drops. Even the weight of what you should have put down begins to drop too. It's happened to me a couple of times where I'm like, oh, I need to publish this book, and then I push it. By the time I want to write again, it takes more struggle. I then have to like be more quiet to gather my ideas together. This was something that should have just come to me naturally. So don't wait for the perfect time. Then this other one, I'm too late. Someone else already did it. And the best way to address these mindsets, because don't just like block them out. Sometimes just sit with them and talk to them till you are able to logically like rule out that thought in your head. I'm too late. Someone else already did it better. It's for you to understand that your voice is unique. Nobody, if as we are having this webinar now, if any of us on this call sits down and has this same webinar with my slides, I give you my slide and say, please shoot, post this webinar, you'd see that the angle the person will come from will be quite different from everything I've said. That's because you have a unique voice, you have unique experiences. So that person that you're looking at, oh, there's already a book on personal development, there's already a book on how to handle teenage girls, there's already a book on faith, there's already a book on on managing finances. By the time you are just putting all of that together, you'd see that even if you bring 5 books on the same subject together, each author will have different angles with which they will address that subject. So understand that your voice is unique, and then people need your perspective. There are people that you see different people will say, oh, they struggle to graduate through school. That's for someone that might want to share their experience. And you might say, oh, okay, so why am I sharing my story about struggling to graduate through school? After all, I'm not the first person that was raised by a widowed mom, or I'm not the first person. But guess what? You may think, oh, I was raised by a widow mom, I struggled to graduate through school. And your own angle to struggling to graduate through school might be that you were raised by a widowed mom. And another person's angle can be that they struggle to understand things. But you are writing the same book, you're writing something similar, but you are doing different things. So the best thing is understand that your voice is unique and people need your perspective. Then this one too, this next one is I can't write because I don't have a big platform. I think that the best thing to just know is that your message is what matters. Everybody needs to hear your message. Writing is not just about having that badge of, oh, I'm an author now. It's important that you think about writing from the place of, from the shoes of your reader, because that's how you can make impact. So writing is not about you. So don't look at, oh, I don't have a platform, I don't have a this, I don't have a that. It's, you are not the one that matters now. It's your message, who you are sending it to. So don't look at your platform. And oh yes, your platform matters. But how about instead of letting it stop you, you then decide that you grow your platform. So if you feel like, oh, my social media following is very low and all of that, how about as you are writing, you are growing your platform, and then before you know it, your book is ready, your platform is grown. How about that? So it's a win-win. Then the last one we'll be looking at is I'll start when I feel confident. And this one is a big lie. There is no time. Ask everybody that you feel is doing something successful, that is doing something big or in that place and they're hitting their goals. They will tell you that they didn't always start confident. It's as you begin to take these actions, then you now begin to look at yourself that, oh my God, I never knew I was able to do this. I never knew I was able to, I never knew I could write a book. I never knew I could publish it. So don't wait till you start feeling confident, because confidence doesn't jump on you. Confidence actually comes from within. When your mind now sees that you are able to do these things. So it's not just that you are saying, oh, I can write a book. You've now seen yourself write that book. You've seen yourself publish that book. So yeah, it shifts for you. There's a confidence that comes with it. So please, whatever mindset you are struggling with, make sure you sit with it, address it, and even when you are still feeling the fear or whatever funny thoughts, still take action anyway. That's just how it happens. Everybody that has done something enviable, everybody that has done something that you see and you are feeling like, oh my God, this person did great. Trust me, they had reasons to pull back. They had reasons to pull back, but they took action anyway. So yeah, anyway. And so we now want to go into how do you now start writing a book? How do you structure your idea? How do you go from well, goodness, I hear you that I should write anyways, but my idea, how do I put it together in a book? How do I start? How do I just like gather my thoughts? How do I start writing? I've never written, I don't even post on social media. How do I get all of that? So this is what we are going to address here. And we are going to use I call it the 3 Ws framework, which is number one, why am I writing? Number two, who am I writing to? Number three, what do I want to tell them? So these 3 Ws, and you must answer them in details, because the more detail you give, the more clear you become. Yes, once you give more details when you're answering these questions, the better it is. It's easier for you to get on with your writing. So the first thing is sit with yourself. And when I say sit with yourself, I mean it. Sit with yourself. Just one day, maybe wake up early, if you're a night person, you wake up in the middle of the night when everywhere is really quiet, or whatever works for you, just sit with yourself and ask yourself, why do I want to write? And this is important because the excitement phase will go off. It will go. Trust me, when you feel like, oh, I want to write. Initially, there's this excitement, but it will get to a point like, okay, I really don't know why I should keep writing. So that's why it's important settle your why. Why do you want to write? And it can be anything. It can be anything. It might be that you want to make money off writing. It's a very valid reason. It's a very valid reason. Why do you want to write? Okay, I want to make money off my writing. Okay, I want to I had an experience that I don't want others to go through. That's valid. Okay, I learned something. I struggled with something and I didn't see so much information. And I didn't see so much information when I was going through that phase. And now I want to put out this book, or I want to put out this material so that people that are going through it can also make reference to it. That's a valid reason. So you must sit down and get a tangible reason why you are writing. Understand, so because that's what will keep you going when the excitement phases off. You have to sit down and look at your reason. Is it that I'm trying to achieve a shift in my career? Is it that am I trying to achieve a shift in my career? Am I trying to help other people? Am I trying to make money? Am I just trying to am I trying to keep something in form of legacy? Because I've met someone like that. She said, look, goodness, I'm retiring and all my children are grown. I've spent money on them. They are all gone. It's just me and my husband. I want to do this so that I can look back at it and see that this is what I achieved in this phase of my life. So it could be anything. So what is that thing for you? Then who am I writing to? Why this matters is that when you figure it out, it affects the tone of your writing. So you have to do a very detailed analysis of who you are writing to. Very detailed analysis. Who are they? In fact, you can even give a name. You can create an avatar, a sample in your head, right? Of that your audience, who you want to read this book. So who are you writing to? Who is that person? How old is this person? Because it's best you write like you're writing to one person. That way you put your tone in place, you put your structure, everything. You're not switching voices, right? So who am I writing to? Think, what's the name of this person? Come up with a name. Okay, what's the age, or what's their age? What's the age bracket of the people I'm writing to? Okay, now I know their age brackets. What are some of the struggles that they are going through? So, for example, now let me give an example. I'm writing a book on how to make money. Let's say I'm writing a book on how to make money from writing. And then I've looked at it. Okay, who am I writing to? I'm writing to people in their 20s, between 20 and 30. And then, so what are the struggles of these people I'm writing to? And then you can think of their struggles. Oh, they make money, they write, but they are not making money from their writing. They they write, but they are not making money from their writing. They 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 are trying to switch into entrepreneurship from this, and then you just highlight it. So what that helps you do during writing is that it helps you touch on all those different areas, and it makes it easy for your writer to relate, for your reader to relate with. So when I'm writing now, even though I'm writing about how to make money from writing, I can still, when I touch on all those areas, this person that is reading the book will feel like, oh, goodness completely gets me. And that way they can align with your book and then take action from that. Then, so who am I writing to? You have to go in all details. Make sure you go very detailed in it. Then, what do I want to tell them? It's very important. This will help you to express your ideas very clear. What do you want to tell them? It can be one thing. You don't have to just mumble up different ideas in your book. Okay, I want to teach them how to make money. I want to show them step by step how they can go from being broke, or how they can move from a 9 to 5 to growing a sustainable business. All of that, you must be clear on what you want to tell them. So that's the 3 W's framework. So yeah, how do you now write with your audience in mind? You have you have looked at you've looked at the everything you want to tell them with this framework. So how do you now write with them in mind? The first thing is look at the pain. What is that thing what's that gap that you're trying to address? What's that struggle that you've seen them go through? So it means that all of this is the background work that happens before the proper writing now starts. Because if you don't sort out all of this, you would not you will just be you just see that you're not getting ideas as you're writing. But by the time you sit down in details, what are the problems I'm trying to address? Number one, I'm trying to address people not having money. I'm trying to address how people that have 9 to 5s can make money from their book. I'm trying to. So by the time you list everything you want to address, trust me, you have a full outline. You will have a full outline of, okay, my chapter one is going to talk about this problem, my chapter two is going to talk about this problem, chapter three is going to talk about this, and all of that. Then the next thing is you also look at your experience. What have I noticed about this problem? What have I, as a person, how have I experienced it? Okay, I've had a 9 to 5 once, I've observed that this and that. So, what is your own experience? And then, what lesson? What lesson did you learn from it? So as you are putting all of this, it helps you. So this is almost like a structure for each chapter. So your chapter one, you know that, okay, this is the pain I want to address. This is how I personally or have seen people around me experience it. This is the lesson I've learned from it. Then you should now conclude with, what should my reader do? Or how should they think? Or how should they change because of this book they've read? Right? So now they've read this book. How should they apply it? It's important because everybody, most times, knowledge is almost everywhere, but people just want what they can apply to their personal lives or how it can bring change to them. And then to the $1 million question, how do I make money from my book? How do I make money from my book? Number one is that you should understand that a good book is enough to write a book. I think this was one of the harsh realities that hit me when this was one of the harsh realities that hit me when I wrote my first book. And my thankfully, yeah, I got help. Okay, my husband, then we were friends. He helps me with this. So he, I was all the frenzy of, oh my God, I'm writing a book and all of that. And I was just preparing for just publishing the book. And thankfully, again, have good friends. Have good friends. So then he's my husband and we were friends then. Then reached out and he's like, okay, so what are your plans for after the book? And I'm like, I'm writing a book. Is it not enough that I'm writing a good book that is going to help teenagers? Is it not good enough? And that was how it just helps me put a structure around the book. So writing a good book is not enough. You have to, number one, get people to know the book. Whether you want to write a book whether you are writing a book for anybody, to make money from your book or to make money from anything, you have to first of all get people to know about that thing. So I would say that number one, leverage your personal brand. Leverage your personal brand. And that's why you should build your personal brand as a writer. You have to build your personal brand because it is from there that you build an audience. In fact, it's even from there that you can even see when you are growing your personal brand, you can now see some of the struggles that people have and write about it. And that way they are willing to pay you for what you've written about. So leverage your personal brand. Then, so okay, in case if you don't know, a personal brand is just a perception of you that you are putting out there. How do you want people to know you? And then you keep putting it out there. It can be online, it can be offline, right? But social media is where everything is happening these days. So why not leverage social media? You have a Facebook account, depending on where your audience is, Facebook account, LinkedIn account, X account, wherever your audience is, leverage social media. And then, so the best way I would say you should do this, the best way to approach this that I know is that when you start writing a book, right, or when you've gotten the idea of, okay, this is what I want to write about, on your social media platform, start putting out information about that thing too. So say you want to write about teenage pregnancy, it's important that on your social media platforms, you are putting out information. Oh, this about teenage pregnancy, this about teenage pregnancy, that about teenage pregnancy. Oh, this about teenagers, this about how they do, this about them, how parents should handle them, and all of that. So what it does is, when your book is now out, or when you make an announcement about your book, people can trust you as an authority because they now see that, oh, okay, all the while she's been posting or he's been posting about this thing. So it means he knows something about it. Then it helps you build that trust over time, because people just don't want to throw their money anywhere. They want to know that, okay, this thing I'm buying, I will benefit from it, or this person is what's investing my money in. So leverage social media, put out free stuff, you can, yeah, just go about it, but let people know that this person has this person has domain knowledge in that area, and then I can trust this person with my money. Also, create a sales funnel. By the way, I'll be hosting another webinar on how to make money from your book. Yes, because I should bring my husband. He has made money from his book. So yeah, he's going to come and teach us how to make money from your book. And he's going to go into details with all of that. So you have to create a sales funnel. Create a sales funnel. That is a platform. How do I explain this? It's just, yeah, it's just a structure that helps you, sell your book, where people can sign up, and then it's easy. They don't have to be reaching out to you one on every time to buy your book. So yes, the point of this whole thing is that create awareness about your book. Even if you write the best book in the world, nobody is going to know about it. And you'll see these big brands do it. Last year, Chimamanda Adichie wrote she wrote another book, Dream Counts. She wrote Dream Counts, and you would see that around the time she published the book, she was going from tour to tour. She went around different countries, and then she even did another tour in Nigeria. You'd see the same thing with Michelle Obama when she published Becoming. She was going on different tours. People do it, everybody does it. It's creating awareness about your book. Then yeah, so how do we now deal with inconsistency? Because I see that it's a thing where you start writing, and then you start writing, you struggle, you write today, and before you know it, you're just like, well, I might as well do without writing. So how do you deal with that? The first thing is, consistency is not a character flaw. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Just in case you've told yourself that, alas, there must be something wrong with me. Maybe I just can't write the book and finish it. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It just means that you've not put the right systems in place. That's just what it is. You've not put the right systems in place. And if you sit down and you sit with yourself and you're just asking, but why is it that I can't get myself to write this book? Why is it that I can't get myself to finish this book? You would see that there are different reasons. It could be that you just don't know what to write. You've written first thing, you're just like, alas, how else can I go from here? What else do I write? I've written everything I know to write. And if you don't sit down, you will just feel that, oh, I'm just an inconsistent person. Then another thing is that maybe you set unrealistic goals when you have a very busy schedule, and then you are like, in 3 days, I'm going to finish this 100 and something book, and you have a busy schedule. Of course, it's possible to sit down and finish writing a book of many pages in just days. It happens. And thankfully, we even have AI that just helps you put your thoughts together, and then, yeah, does its magic, right? But sometimes we set unrealistic goals, and sometimes you don't have the right systems in place. You don't have alarms that are reminding you. You don't have You don't have anything. You're just like, oh, I'm going to write, and then you get on, you write today, you don't write tomorrow. You just don't have the right system in place. Then another mistake people make that makes them inconsistent is also that you're trying to write and edit at the same time. It happens a lot where you feel like, oh, you write this sentence and you're feeling like, oh, it doesn't sound correct. I must write it, and then you stay on one paragraph for weeks. So by the time you are done with that paragraph, there's a possibility that you're just like exhausted because you are looking at it. So if it took me a week or it took me 3 weeks to write, if it took me 3 weeks to write one paragraph, how long is it then going to take me to write the whole book? And then that way you just throw the book aside. So the best thing is don't write as you edit. Your first draft is usually not your best draft. So it's usually not your best draft. So the best thing is don't write and edit at the same time. But yeah, these are some of the reasons why people are inconsistent, and then you start and you see that you can't finish. So how do you now deal with this inconsistency? Number one is have a strong why. Earlier on, we talked about what your why is, and having a strong why keeps you going. Yeah, because each time you remember that I need to make money off this thing, you just go back, and by the time you are thinking of the money you can possibly make from this, or the shift that is going to cost for you, or you think about the people that your book is going to help, the knowledge from your book will help from repeating that same mistake, right? It just keeps you going, even when it's not comfortable for you. You're just like, see, I'm just going to get this over and done with. So the first thing is have a strong why. Know why you want to write, and then have a very strong. Don't just let it be, oh, because I just want to become an author. Fine, you just want to become an author, but what does being an author mean to you? So have a strong why. Another thing is get an accountability partner. There is nothing as strong as an accountability partner, especially when it's a goal that you want to achieve. One of the things that helped me, finish my first book was was a friend that I told that I was writing. Because the moment I told him I was writing, he said every day he's like, goodness, how far have you gone? And then on the days when, because I actually had written so much into the book before I told him, and I'm like, oh, I want to publish it by my birthday. And he said, Steve, you are going to get this thing done. And because I had not made an announcement, it got to a point I was like, I don't think I want to continue writing again, because I mean, it was a lot. And he was just there. He's like, no, 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 you're almost done. Look at what you're doing now. Let's continue. So that's I'm just saying that having an accountability partner is very important. Then God help you, you have a community of people that are writing together. It just helps because by the time you're asking this person is saying, oh, I'm in chapter 2. So it gives you that energy that, okay, I can do this. If this person can do this, I can do this too. So it's important. Get an accountability partner, get a friend. If you cannot get a friend, I've seen if you cannot get a friend, get paid accountabilities. Anything that would make you to achieve that dream, do what is required. Do what is required. Because sometimes I was reading today and Alex Obozi says sometimes your best is not enough. Because people say, oh, I did my best, but it just didn't happen. So no, do the required work. So yeah, do whatever is required to get your book out there. So get an accountability partner or a community. Then put the right system in place. For some people, it works for them that having a particular time just helps you keep your reading. Say you want to write, say, okay, I write every morning, and every morning you wake up, you have fresh thoughts, you are able to write. Yeah, it works for you. So if that works for you, have a particular time. Then also have writing resources. If you need a system, if you need devices that can help you, if you need software tools that can help you, do all of that. Put your outlines together. Don't just write Don't just write today you think that, oh, I should write about these concepts, and you put it down. Then tomorrow you have nothing, you are not sure what to write about. So have an outline that will help you, that will help you put your thoughts together, and then you are able to continue writing. So I actually wanted us to do an exercise, but then it's 8 o'clock. But we can let's see if we can squeeze it in. Let's do it for say 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, so if you think we should do the exercise, yeah, if you think we should do this, please just drop a message in the chats, and let's see. If you think we should do this exercise, you think that is something that will really help you, drop a message in the chat so that we can get on with it. So that we can get on with it. Okay. Yeah, it will help as a step up. Okay, Titi says it will help as a step up. Okay. Okay, Netega says we should. Okay, somebody else. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Ah, Jennifer says we should. Okay, so let's do it. And we'll have 10 minutes. So I sent a message earlier in the group. Get your journals, your book. And this is something that you should put your thoughts into. You should put your thoughts into. Have it at the back of your mind that somebody somewhere is depending on your book for light. Have it at the back of your mind. You might just think, oh, I'm writing. And you should even know, because there are times where you've read, say you are in a very tight corner. You are in a place where you're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? What next to you? What next do I do? And you read a book, and just a page from that book gives you light. So put yourself in that place and just be like, okay, I want to be the reason why somebody finds light in the tight corner where they are. So let's get to the exercise. So the first question is why, okay, there's a typo here. Why do you want to write? Why? So it is you asking yourself now, why do I want to write? Is it that you don't want people to fall into the same mistake that you made? Say you made a mistake, and of course, mistakes doesn't mean that. Say, a funny example is in my head right now, but a mistake is not that, oh, I did this and this. A mistake might be that you did something late in life. It might be that you did something you regret. It might be that you put your money into something, or you were in you could have made better decisions. Is that one of the reasons why you want to write? Make it very clear. Okay, this is it. Is it that you need money? You know that you know your onions in what you do, and you want people to pay you for this thing. Is that the reason why you want to write? Write it there. Is it that you want a shift in your career? You've been in a space, it's just like you've been up and down, nobody really knows you, and then you want that shift. Why do you want to write? Put it down. Is it that it's an assignment that God has put in your hands for your generation? Because some of us, yes, that is what it is for us, that you know that this particular book you are writing, God has just been putting that idea on your heart, and it's been burning, and you know that I have better write it this year, and know that this is what I've done. Write it down. So anything, it can be anything for you. It can be anything for you. It can be that when you were in a particular space, you just didn't have the knowledge you needed in that space. Maybe you wanted to do something, and then you searched online, you just didn't see, like this knowledge was not readily available for you. So yeah, whatever it is, put it down. So I'll give some seconds, and so please, when you are done, just put it in your chat that's done. Put it in the chat, done, put it in the chat, done, done. You can put it in the chat that you are done. And this is gradually us building our outline. I'm telling you, because by the time you are done answering these questions, you see that you have put together your 3 whys. These are the 3 whys. And then from that, you'd also see that you filled out that part that's about writing with your audience in mind. So yeah, why are you writing? Why are you writing? Why do you want to write? Okay, let's go to the next question. Who are you writing to? Who are you writing to? In every detail possible. What's their age brackets or what's their age? And in fact, just answer this like you're writing to one person, because it's always better to write like you're writing to one person. Just picture one person in mind and say, oh, okay, I'm writing to Tolu. Tolu is 25, or Tolu is 40, Tolu is 16, Tolu is 12, Tolu is 8, Tolu is 5. We have picture books and we have authors that are writing those picture books. Tolu is 55. Who are you writing to? What's their age bracket? What's their agenda? Why all these details help again is that it helps you use the tone that this person you are writing to, or these people you are writing to, relates to. So what's the gender? What's their level of education? Obviously, this helps to know the the kind of vocabulary you're using. So are you using big words? Are you using small words? Are you using pidgin? Is it a mix of formal and informal writing? Level of education helps you answer that. What's their job? What do they do? What do they do? What's their pain points? What are some of the things that they are struggling with? What are some of the things that they are struggling with that you want to address? What are some of the things they are struggling with that you want to address? What are the pain points? What are their interests? As you're looking at their pain points, you're also looking at, okay, so what interests them, so that I can give examples in this area, so that I can put illustrations here, so that I can, yeah, just speak to those things a bit. So what are their interests? What are their struggles? What are their struggles? Every possible detail that you can put about the book, please put it there. Every possible detail you can put about who you're writing to. Okay. Then what are you telling them? What are you telling them? What's that one thing that you want them to know? What idea do you want to add in your book? What are the things that you want to talk to them about? What are the things that you want to you want them to know? What are the things that you want them to learn? Okay, so you can put it down. Okay, so we have 3 minutes left for this exercise. 3 minutes left for this exercise. So when you are done, please let me know in the chat. I don't know if anybody wants to share. I don't know if anybody wants to share theirs. Okay, this is what I'm writing about. What you should know. Okay, can you drop a message in the chat when you're done, please? Let me know in the chat if you are done. Let me know in the chat. Tizzy Lope, let me follow a check on anybody is done. Oh, great. Okay, do you want to share? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? What are you writing about? Do you mind sharing? You don't have to give all the details, just like something that you wrote about. Okay, all right, don't tell me what you're writing about, but just tell me who you're writing to. You can drop it in the chat. You can unmute and, yeah, please unmute and just tell us what you're writing about.
Okay, good evening, man. Concerning what I'm writing about,
Mm.
it's basically about like I'm trying to. Okay, let me just say it this way. Growing up, I'm this type of person that usually struggle with confidence.
Simple.
So I was kind of, let me say, uncertain about my my identity. So
Mm,
I was able to overcome it at some point,
great,
and I noticed
great.
that this is something other people out there might
True.
actually be facing as well. So let me say I'm writing to young people because as they are growing up, I want to
Mm,
make them have like start believing in themselves as early as possible so that they can achieve greater things as time goes on. And I would like to like share my story, my experiences with them, how I've been able to overcome it, how I was able to overcome doubts, how I was able to identify myself, and also make them know that they should always have value in themselves, like that they are not worthless, they should always believe in themselves. And so I think that's basically the summary of what I want to write up.
that is great. That's a brilliant idea. Most people, I'm telling you, that youthful phase, especially teenagers and then out into 20s, 30s, struggle with confidence. So I think it's a brilliant idea. And hope you were able to flesh, yeah, I hope you were able to just like flesh it out a bit. So anybody else, does anybody else want to share? Thank you, Titi, for sharing. Does anybody else want to share?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening,
Okay, so
Jennifer.
yeah, thank you for the class and everything you've shared. Okay,
Mm,
so I want to share an aspect of my own answers, and that will be the first one. That is why I want to write. I feel like my first answer is funny, and I think I want to get a feedback on it. So the first answer is of like my reason for wanting to write
mm,
is not like a big reason. So what I have here is I want to have fun, really. So I'm wondering if that's not like my only reason, but that's
right.
even the first thing I wrote. So I'm
Mm,
wondering if that can fly as a reason. Then the second reason I have here is so I'm like this year,
mm,
one of the lines or quotes or mantra I'm working with is
mm,
let's grow together. So I have this aspect where I actually think God has helped me. And
mm,
I'm like, okay, so maybe we can turn this into a book so that others can also learn
right.
from. That's for that one. Then another aspect I want to clear on is um, what are you telling them? So I'll
Mm,
mention the second reason I have here.
mhm,
So the second one is going to be like it's going to be a non-fiction. It's going to be a kind of storytelling about an aspect of my life that I have passed through, right? And so definitely it has to be for those who are about coming to that particular season. So I'm like to give, okay, I'm coming this, to give them a map on
right.
how to, navigate that season. So it's not, well, I don't know how writing it will be in the end, but it's not going to be something like, um, maybe where you list the I'm trying to give an example now. Maybe
Right.
you want to say how to be successful in life. Now you now say number one, this number two, this number three. This not
Okay.
example. But by reading the story of how
Okay.
you navigated the phase, you get to pick lessons from it. And so that's
I
one.
get you. I get you. Yeah. So do you want me to still answer if it is valid enough? Your first reason.
Yes.
You know what? I think forget that I'm laughing. Any reason you give for something is valid enough as far as that's your reason. So if you want to have fun, why not? If you want to write and just be like, oh, I just want to enjoy the process of writing this book, why not? If you want to write, so any reason you give is valid as far as that is your reason. You're not giving that reason because um you're not giving that reason because it's going to sound very grandiose, or it's going to sound like a serious person, or it's going to make you sound like an unserious person. So whatever your reason is, please. And then as far as it is going to push you, yeah, as far as it's going to make you, because the reason of thinking through your why is that it's something that you can think back at, and it drives you to complete your book, right? So For me, the reason flies as far as number one, it's you. That's why you want to do it. That's one. And then as far as it drives you to achieve that your goal. So as far as that, as far as it pushes you to achieve your goal, completely works. Completely works. And I completely get the book you have. I completely get the what you were trying to describe with your other book, because is kind of my second book was also in that line, not completely my story, but then I just picked like different, like, but they were just things that people can pick from. Like when you read, you then, oh, okay, this person navigated this, and then it can help me navigate this. So I completely get it. Then what I then did was at the end of each chapter, I just put like outlines. Okay, this is what these are like lessons that to pick from this, to pick from that. So yeah, I completely get what you're saying. Well done. So one more person. Does anybody? Thank you, Jennifer. Does anybody want to share? Who else? Who else? Who else wants to share? 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 Okay, so yeah, I think we are almost running out of time. But speaking about accountability, right? Because one of the things that I want to do this year is get more people to write their stories. I want to, one thing that's just there to my heart is that people are more authentic, people are living more authentically. You think that I should write. You think that you should do public speaking, please do it. You think that you should, yeah, have a career that speaks to senators, please let everybody do their thing. And I think that one of the best ways to do this and fulfilling purpose is writing. And so I'm putting together this program, Write and Publish in 28 Days. Yes, so we are going to, it's a community where we gather together and then hold each other's hands so that in 28 days we are done with the draft of our book, and then to we can send it out to a publisher. So it's also and then what we'll be doing is, okay, so we'll have an outline. Okay, this idea I have, how do I run by it? We're sharing that idea. Then we also have weekly accountabilities and check-ins, where every week we jump on a call. Okay, what progress have you made with this? How are you doing? Okay, what are you struggling with? Why haven't you written? And then I'd also be sharing some of the tools that have helped me as with my work as a writer, publisher, ghostwriting. Yeah, ghostwriting. Because I know that writing can be a lot of work. Yeah, it can be a lot of work. But when you have the right tools, in December, in December, one of the publishing houses I work for reached out, and he also wanted to write something. Yeah, he wanted to write something for, okay, wanted to publish a book, but I don't give details. And then didn't know how to go about it. And what we did was start with the idea. Okay, um, what do you want to write about? And then he said, okay, I want to write about this. Give me this detail, that detail, that detail. And before you know it, I did the writing and it was up. So, and I know that one of the things that helped me were the tools I had available. And then also, yeah, constant communication. Okay, see this level. How do you want me to write this part? How do you want me to write this part? So that accountability, and then feedback. Okay, so this is, I think you can write it this way, or I think this person has written it this way. How about we go like this? So we'll be having this program, and I have put it together. So 28 days, that's like basically a month. And then if you want to go the self-publishing route, I got you, because I have just self-publishing. If you want to do the traditional publishing where you want to reach out to a you want to reach out to a you want to reach out to a publishing house. I know a number of publishing houses. Yeah, I work with a publishing house, and then number of them that can, they'll just help you. If you want a hard copy of your book, we can work in budget. and okay, this is the budget we are working with. You've written, editors get to work on it. So how can we make it fly? Or if you want to still go the self-publishing route, it's still fine. But these are things that we get to just talk about in the community. And yeah, and for this batch, I just want to work with as many people, as few people, not as many people, as few people as possible, just the number of people that are willing. Okay, let's get on this. So that we have the results. At the end of 28 days, the books are published. Everybody is happy that they are fulfilling purpose. You are not pushing it and saying, oh, I started again. Because yeah, you get the accountability and all of that. And it's just going to, it's paid and it's going to go for just 7,500. Because I thought about it and I put out the questions and I looked at it. Okay, whatever level it is you are in with your writing, once you get it in 28 days, your first draft is ready. And yeah, it just depends on how fast you can work. If you want, if in those 28 days, your book can be out in 28 days. I know this thing because I have written a book. I was reading a book before in like a week, and the first draft was ready for editing. So yeah, so if you know that that's you and you want to join this community, you want to put it out there, we'll also be having like weekly webinars when the book is ready to be published. We'll do another webinar on how to make money from the book for those that want to make money from their book. There's the accountability, there's the training on how to write, there's the offer for ghostwriting for people that will be ghostwriting, that want to go the ghostwriting route. But I think everybody should write their book. So yeah, there's that. So if you know that you are in for this, just send me a DM so that we can get talking and then we can create the community. So yeah, so please, if you are up for it, you know that you are really serious and you just want to get this writing thing done and your book ready, please reach out, send me a DM so that we can get started and get you to publish that book in the best possible way. Okay, so is there a way we can know about the budgets? Okay, yeah. Just send me a DM. We can get talking. I guess you're talking about the budget for publishing the book. Send me a DM. We'll talk from there. We'll talk from there. You can know about the budget. I have. Okay. Are you not on the WhatsApp group? I think I should just drop my number then. Okay. Let me just drop my phone number. Not that. Oh, you're not on the group. Okay. I'll send you a message then. There's no problem. Okay, I'll send you a message. I'll send you a message so that we can talk. I have you, but you filled the form, right? Okay, yeah. So if you fill the, I'll send you tomorrow. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I don't know if okay, so it's pretty late. Okay, we have the group. If there are any questions that anybody wants to ask, please you can just send a question to the group or my email or my number. I don't know. 0779-1295. So if you have okay, yeah, my number is on the flyer of the my number is on the flyer, so you can just push a message to me to that place. So thank you very much, everybody. And please, even if you are not signing up for the Write and Publish in 28 Days program, I beg you, please write that book. Write that book. Anyhow, it's going to take you. You already have the idea. Thank you so much, Mr. Chris. You already have an idea of how to write and publish. You already have the idea of what your outline should look like. You've done the exercise. So please, I beg you, start writing. Start writing. If you have any questions, my DM is open. Put your question to me and we can pick it up from there. Thank you so much, everybody. And I wish you a blissful journey in 2026. And I hope that you get to write that book and push your brand and push the book out there and push your message. Thank you so much. And bye.